The great says Narada continued, my dear king, once upon a time, King Puranjana took up his great bow and equipped with golden armor and quiver of unlimited arrows and accompanied with 11 commanders, set out on his chariot driven by 5 swift horses, went to the forest named Panchaprastha. He took with him on the chariot 2 explosive arrows. The chariot itself was situated on 2 wheels and 1 revolving axle. On the chariot were 3 flags, 1 rein, 1 chariot driver, 1 sitting place, 2 poles to which the harness was fixed, 5 weapons, and 7 coverings. The chariot moved in 5 different styles and 5 obstacles lay before it. All the decorations of the chariot are made of gold. So this is we know of the symbolism, simple symbolism everybody knows, taken from Kathopanishad and one more place, that is our life can represent a chariot. We are sitting as a passenger in the chariot, and then there are our intelligence is the driver, and then the robe represents the mind. The senses of the horses, correct? This is simple symbolism we all know. And the wheels represent pious activities. But here, that is the genius of Narada, is extending the symbolism to practically, see why? Because what is the meaning of symbolism? Why do you need symbolism? Something you know, you try to know something you do not know. Just like we say Krishna's hand is like a lotus flower. Why do we say so? Because we do not see Krishna's hand, but we see lotus. So we say, like lotus hand. It's not that Krishna's hand is lotus, no. Krishna's hand is. But we see beautiful lotus in this world, which that is the topmost thing beautiful in this world is the beautiful lotus. That is used to compare. Or we say Krishna's glance is like a cooling moonshine. Yes, we see cooling moonshine. We do not see Krishna. So with that we try to know what we cannot know. So similarly, we all see a chariot. In fact, previously, people are not so foolish to take petrol from middle of ocean and run these tin cars. People used to have sustainable system. It will come back to that after some time. Now petrol is already 75. And with 100, 200, you will see chariots. First cycles will come, then they will also have a problem. And you see chariots, horses, elephants on the roads. Okay. Anyway, nature will bring it back to what it should be. So people are used to chariot at that time so much. This is 5,000 years ago. And he's describing how it is situated. And now let us try to understand, and whatever we remember. The first thing is that this king he was talking to Narada was Prachina Barisha. And he is telling him a story of Puranjana. It's a symbolic story. He is saying this king once sat on a chariot and he went to a place called Panchaprastha. Panchaprastha means there are 5 sense objects available there. And the 5 horses, the chariot had 5 horses, which were the 5 senses. It is expanding that Kathopanishad symbolism. And he is sitting on the chariot, and the driver, that is always the Lord. Correct? Lord is the driver here in this. And then there is 3 flags on this chariot that represent the 3 modes of mental nature. Because flag always signifies the owner. Anything, suppose the flag is there, correct? India's flag, they put no. It's a place owned by India, like that. So that the flag is there, the flag is put on the chariot of the 3 modes. Actually, the living governed by the 3 modes of mental nature, we are acting. We have no independence. If we are sattvic, the activity becomes sane. If we are rasic, they become disturbed. If tamasic, it becomes mad. That is our situation today. So the 3 modes, sattva, rajas and tamas, actually are the owners. And we are just following them. Lord is there, we are not following the Lord, we are following the three modes. They are actually the flags which represent the situation which we are in. And then he has everything golden there, that is showing that Rajasic tendency. And then there is also the two powerful weapons, that is manifestation of false ego in two ways. Aham, mameti. In here Prabhupada uses another word, Sanskrit word, but meaning is same. I and mine. The two foolishness we have. The two weapons of our own self-destruction. And then so you say, therefore the golden it is said, because when we have money, we generally tend to glide down to Rajasic nature. And golden color also represents Rajoguna. White is called Sattva. And you can say black or Tamas. So this is the situation of the living entity, very nicely explained in the Bhagavatam. And this is a symbolism which signifies how we are stuck. This body in Bhagavad Gita also it is said it's a yantra. Yantra rudani mayaya. This is a yantra. We are sitting on a body which is basically a yantra, a vehicle. And in this vehicle we are traveling. All of us are traveling in a vehicle. Sometimes foolishly what happens to us is that we identify with the body foolishly. We think we are the body. But Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is very clear, we are not the body. We are the passenger in this body. And this body is taking us around. It has five sense objects. And these five sense objects are constantly looking for what? The five sense objects are looking for forest sense environment. That is this material world. This material world is nothing but Pancha Prashtha. It's a place where five varieties of sense objects, forms, beautiful sound, beautiful things to smell, nice things to taste, and soft things to lie down. These things are offered in the material world. So this world is nothing but imagine how much details. Just like Narada is describing the details of the creation. And not only details, he is just describing. And imagine the effort of somebody who created it. We just don't know. Just like a child may be rebellious, but he doesn't know how much effort the father is making for his comfort. Correct? Child may be, oh no, I am not happy, running here and there. You left Vaikuntha and we are running here and there. But we just do not know how much. True, for Krishna there is no anxiety because Krishna is always blissful. But how much details. It may take no effort from Krishna, it doesn't mean that there is no gratitude. It's not that Krishna, Prabhupada says Krishna has to open a factory to give you oxygen. No? Satya Sankalpa, just by desire it happens. But we should be grateful actually how much details are involved in satisfying our rebellious attitude. How much details Krishna has gone into. Who will care? Who will care? Who will care? Just like you're working in our office, somebody is rebellious, they go, we don't care. And then better we want to forget that person. He was like that. But here you see Krishna. We left him, but still his compassion is there. And every detail of our life, our desires, huge arrangement he has made. If you go into the details, we cannot even understand the effort and the details Krishna has gone into to satisfy our nasty desires. We have no capacity to understand. Beyond a certain limit, we cannot even understand. To a certain level, maybe you can understand Krishna did this, Krishna did that, but we cannot even know. It's beyond our capacity. And every day we speculate. Every day we sit and speculate. Now, perhaps we feel after 4 billion years, the sun will be devastated. Sit and speculate. Sit and speculate. That's the problem with this tiny scientists. They see a small well and they think they know the ocean. You know the well, that's okay. But no, we know. There is no other way actually. You cannot know about God even perfectly or even His creation unless you hear from Him. And He is a creator, He knows, He will explain. Why don't you listen to Him? And peacefully, you will find everything understandable. But provided you give some time, 1 minute, 2 minutes will not help you. Somebody was, Prabhupada was telling, the famous statement, he said, I cannot convince you God is there in 5 minutes. It's not a joke. First you have to be purified. We are talking about a person, not some energy. It's a person. First, you have to become fit to be able to absorb the glories of God in your heart. Then I can tell you. Only a devotee can understand God. First, you have to make it to devotee. Then you will understand God. So, how much details Krishna has gone into, and how much Prabhupada used to say. Therefore, Prabhupada is so stone-hearted. He just had no heart to appreciate the work. We have no heart actually to appreciate the effort done by Prabhupada to save the conditions. We have no heart. We are so crippled. We have no heart. Prabhupada said, gallons of blood we are spending to make one person Krishna conscious. But we have no gratitude. The same way, Krishna, so much effort, so much details he has gone into to satisfy our nasty desires. No gratitude. We are actually, jokers actually. Completely, what you can say, what do you call such a man? Fool, completely a foolish person. So here Narad Muni is also a great Acharya. He is taking all the effort. You see how much effort he is taking. What is the need? No need for it. Is he getting anything out of Prachina Parish? No. He is a Vaikuntha man. He can travel anywhere he wants. Correct? Is there anything he wants that he cannot get? Narada. In fact, he has all the siddhis. Everything he can have. But why Narada is putting so much effort? You see that he is building. It's not an intellectual gymnastic. No. It's not just demonstration. Even though, you see, devotee automatically has that. If somebody can create a symbolism life to this detail, not only now we have been studying whole previous chapter also, describing the intelligence as his wife, and he's going on. You must be thinking it requires a genius to do that. Yeah? But he is not. He is out of compassion, developing so that the king can understand. Indirectly, directly he could have said, what are you doing? A tamasic activity you are doing. He didn't do that. He's trying, he's dealing with the person, how will he take it? Sometimes what happens, some person is deviating and it's not what Prabhupada has wanted. Somebody is doing like that. How much we have to hold ourselves, how to tell? Because the ego, the fellow will not allow him to hear one word. That's how we deal with this material world. Correct? How much carefully. Sometimes hours you have to think, how to tell this person? This is not correct. So similarly, Narad Muni, he wants also sometimes, Prabhupada devotees used to bring to Prabhupada some person, and Prabhupada will speak so wonderfully, convincingly. So devotees, Prabhupada, how did you give that argument? Prabhupada said, that's not all the time thinking about that only. How to present Krishna consciousness to the people. That's our thinking. So similarly, the point is that Narad Muni also now this is dealing with the king. A true king is very submissive, but he's thinking how to tell him. He's not directly told him. He's telling him a story of a Puranjana. Actually, he's a Puranjana there. The story is non-existent. Puranjana doesn't exist. Puranjana is a symbolic story. That is, later he will tell the whole symbolism out. Generally, in Bhagavatam, all the stories are all real stories. It's not symbolism. But here, he tells him a symbolic story, where at the end he will tell this is a symbolic story. There are some jokers who say Bhagavad Gita is also symbolic. It's not symbolic. It's a fact. And there was Kurukshetra, there is Dharma Kshetra, there is Krishna, everything is there. It's a fact. There is no symbolism there. But here, it's a symbolism going on. And it's a rare case where it is explained. So where it is explained, where does Krishna say this is symbolism? Where does Arjuna say? Where does Vedavyasa say who wrote the whole thing? No, there was nobody Krishna, nobody Arjuna. It is basically 5 senses and all. They take maybe some points from this symbolism and go there. Arjuna, Krishna represents our intelligence, horses represent senses, you can play like that. Kauravas represent thousands of desires. Gandhi made a symbolism like that. It's not correct. And ideas are here only. Now where it is real story, it is real story. Where it is symbolic, it is symbolic. It is explained both of ways. So we should not stretch ourselves, and therefore we have to follow the footsteps of the acharyas. So Narada is putting so much effort so that he can understand. Yes, it's not correct. It's not correct. Because in a better world, preaching is not easy. We are dealing with aham mameti of people, big mameti. Yesterday we had gone to meet so many people, for temple. And once they start off of what to say, it's crazy philosophy, People when they get chance, they will speak their crazy. I am used to it. For so many years I have done it. Set up complete rubbish. What to do? You're listening. You want to say something, and by mistake in the whole thing, if somebody says something correct, we say, yeah, that is very nice. Again, we switch off our mind, keep thinking what to do. This is how the people are in this world. So difficult to make a person move one more inch than what he is towards doing something which will be pleasing to Krishna. So difficult it is. So Narada, we can see the powerful preacher with his genius and with his compassion and the powerful, and they said he has a bhakti shakti. He's doing his job. So wonderful, so wonderful. He's coming here now, he's going to convince him, turn him around. So many cases are like the Naradas. So powerful. We have the example of Narada turning Prahlad. Prahlad Narada is already a great acharya in the home. And then Narada, we have the instance, even instructing Vasudeva, father of Krishna, that is in Krishna book, that comes at 10th canto of Bhagavatam. The Narada instructs Dhruva Maharaj, that also is there in the Bhagavatam. Narada saves that hunter, that is also there in the Bhagavatam. And then Narada, now there are sons of Daksha, he turned them also around. It's true that he went to preach to father also. But instead of listening anything, father cursed him. And anyway, those curses are of no use. You cannot stay in a place more than 3 days. All these things. Narada said, good, let me travel. And he took it as the will of the Lord, because nobody can harm him at all. If anything is to come, he said, welcome. And then here now he has again come. He is trying to preach to this person, Prachina Varisha. So he is a celebrated preacher in the Bhagavatam. And it should serve as an example how much energy, time, detail should be invested. And it's not to convince somebody into commitment. Very careful, very careful. How to encourage somebody to become serious in Krishna consciousness, correct? That's true. In India, when we deal in India, actually Prabhupada is to say once sometimes, most of the Indians are Krishna conscious. In that respect, every Indian, if you look in that broad way, he has some feelings and respect for Krishna, everybody. But how to encourage it and how to make a person serious, that's the challenge. So that's a great amount of work we should do. And Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, nobody is dearer to me than a person who engages with that. Srila Prabhupada ki